Yuran turned to Lu Muqing and said as if chatting with his family, "What are they whispering?" Yang Jingxi from a distance looked at them, only feeling confused. What really happened to them? Why do they seem to be hiding something? Yang Jingxi glanced at Lu Yuran, confident as always. Lu Muqing smiled, but it was so shallow that it didn't even reach his eyes. He raised his eyebrows and said meaningfully, "Unexpectedly, you turned out to be a woman who couldn't wait to do that. So you can't wait to be intimate with your fiancé?" His tone was strange, aggressive, even provocative. As soon as those words came out, Yang Jingxi was confused. "Huh? Me? Forget it, I'll cook." Yang Jingxi knew that he had misunderstood and didn't want to explain, so she said she would cook. If he doesn't believe it, why should I explain it to him? Yang Jingxi never bothered to explain and didn't care about misunderstandings, but his current misunderstanding made her feel indescribably depressed and irritated. Lu Muqing stretched out her arms, put her arms around his waist, and pulled her in front of him. A gleam of light flashed in Lu Muqing's eyes, and he tightened his grip on her waist, saying in a deep voice, "Even if you don't like me, you shouldn't humiliate yourself. Don't you know what Youran is like? Or do you think you can accept him having sex with many women and then coming back to touch you?" Lu Muqing stretched out his arms, put his arms around her waist, and pulled her in front of him, rubbing his fingers on her lips as if to wipe away some dirt. Yang Jingxi was angry, gritted his teeth, and said in a heavy tone, "Mr. Lu, please respect yourself." An unprecedented feeling quickly flowed into her blood, rushed to her heart, and trembled. She actually had an indescribable feeling because of his touch. He regained his sanity, and his eyes softened. "Are you so disgusted by being touched by me?" Yang Jingxi pursed his lips and said nothing. In his opinion, she agreed. Lu Muqing's Adam's apple rolled, his brows knitted, his previous anger disappeared. He took 2 steps back and said helplessly, "I can help you end Youran's harassment, but only if you become my woman can you escape from him." "What do you mean? That guy is crazy." Yang Jingxi looked confusedly at the handsome man in front of her. He stepped upstairs and said solemnly, "If you don't understand, just think I'm being nosy. He possesses the qualities of a mature man, handsome, rich, prestigious, powerful, and talented, which can easily make women fall in love with him." "Wait." Yang Jingxi pursed his lips, seeming to want to say something but stopped. Lu Muqing glanced at her. Lu Muqing looked at her and seemed to have something to say, so he asked, "What's wrong?" Yang Jingxi pursed his lip. She looked at him nervously, his eyes sparkling with anticipation, and they were particularly bright and beautiful. "Can I use the upstairs room after cooking? You gave me too much homework today. I have to work part-time in the evening, otherwise I won't have time to do it." "Hey, why don't you answer it?" Yang Jingxi thought he would say something and prepared to reply, but he didn't say anything, turned around and went into his room. However, what he just said about asking me to be his woman, how shameless. Yang Jingxi took a deep breath, adjusted her mood, and cleaned the rest of the place indifferently. She prepared dinner and cleaned up the garbage in the apartment. The cell phone suddenly rang. Yang Jingxi saw that it was Feng Ruyan's caller ID and answered the call. "Honey, I heard Mr. Lu say that you now live with Mr. Lu. How is he? Is Mr. Lu satisfied with the food you cooked? Mom will visit you at the apartment sometime, okay?" "Ah, really disgusting." "And honey, Mr. Lu will come to Yan's house for lunch tomorrow. Come back too. Mom wants to tell you something." For some reason, Feng Ruyan's tone was particularly kind today. What happened? Yang Jingxi had a bad feeling in her heart. "Just come back. Why are you talking so much nonsense?" Feng Ruyan lowered her voice and hung up the phone when she said the last sentence. I can't pretend for more than a minute." "Wait, Lu Youran complained to Feng Ruyan? Doesn't that confirm that Lu Muqing and I live together? Then I have to stay here forever?" Yang Jingxi glanced at the phone screen. Yang Jingxi let out a frustrated sigh, thinking that since Feng Ruyan had found out, she must want to use her to gain benefits from Lu Muqing. "Lu Youran, you bastard! Lu Youran, I want to kill you!" Yang Jingxi raised her voice angrily. "Well, although she may not like me, but what is certain is that he really hates Youran." Noon the next day, Yan's family. "Come here," Lu Youran said in a commanding tone. Yang Jingxi walked in and saw Lu Youran sitting on the sofa. They looked into each other's eyes. There was a sparkling crystal chandelier above the sofa. The light fell on his cold yet handsome face, reflecting a shimmering luster in his cold eyes. Yan Rui stood behind Lu Youran like a happy little bird with her black painted nails pressing on his shoulders. "Why are you still standing there? Help me bring the fruit." Feng Ruyan handed the fruit plate to Yan Jingxi. Yan Jingxi walked over helplessly and just put the fruit plate on the coffee table. I really don't want to see these two stinky faces again. When Yan Rui saw Yan Jingxi, her face darkened and she looked unhappy, as if she owed her money. Lu Youran raised his thin lips and suddenly held her hand. Yan Jingxi was pulled onto his lap. Lu Youran put her arm around his shoulders and took him into her arms. Lu Youran moved his lips to Yan Jingxi's ear, lowered his voice, and said word by word, clearly and hoarsely, "Have you forgotten what I said yesterday?" The scent of On LCE men's perfume wafts into my nose, noble and charming. For some reason, Yan Jingxi remembered the smell of Lu Muqing, a clean and refreshing scent that made her feel dizzy, while Lu Youran in front of her only made her feel cold. The days ahead are still long, and there is still plenty of time to do good. Thinking of what Lu Youran said, a chill ran down my spine. No wonder she felt that Lu Youran's eyes were strange at that time. It turned out that he had already prepared for this meeting in the evening. I usually ignore some words that have no nutritional value, Yan Jingxi said, trying to stand up. Lu Youran locked her waist, not letting her move, his eyes locked with her cold eyes. Seeing how affectionate they were, Yan Rui immediately became furious and rushed to Yan Jingxi, asking in a questioning tone, "What did you talk about at noon? Did you meet at noon? How come I don't know?" Preview next chapter. Yan Jingxi, how dare you do something to your sister? Feng Ruyan was so angry that she picked up the teacup on the table and threw it at Yan Jingxi's head. Yan Jingxi felt pain and frowned. The tea soaked her back and the water dripped down her clothes. "If you can't say something right, why should you do it?" Feng Ruyan said angrily.